Hi, welcome to WindyWool Windings. I'm Susan Proctor, and the farm is located in Vale of North Carolina. I spent 4 years doing research on which breeds of sheep I wanted or could raise here in the Southeast. I needed a sheep that could withstand the high humidities, that had some parasite resistance, could also give me a top-notch fleece. However, since I brought the sheep home to an old dairy farm, I also found that they needed to be foot rot resistant while producing the top fleece. Since the sheep are kept on pasture and barns that have been used for dairy cattle for over 80 years, foot rot became just as big an issue as the internal parasites. I decided that the Monadale was my first selection. The Monadale is classified as a white-faced meat breed. However, in working with the fleeces, I discovered that they had a very tight crimp available with a lot of spring. The color was absolutely gorgeous white. And there would also be the oddball black Monadale that would crop out, which had cute badger faces, and they would age and gray out into an absolutely beautiful pewter color. The second breed that I have is the Rommeldale CVM. The breed is actually the Rommeldale. The CVM is the designation of California Variegated Mutant, which indicates that animals of the Rommeldale breed have color designation. The Rommeldale is a smaller animal than what the Monadale is. They'll be 20 pounds to 30 pounds smaller than the Monadale, and they do have the color. They have a very tight crimp on their fleece. They run a staple length of 3 to 4 inches, and it's a very dense fleece. The colors are spectacular with this breed. Over the last 20 years, I have been focused on creating a genetically strong parasite resistance as well as good fleeces within my flock. The ewes are inspected at breeding time as well as during shearing. And then I keep usually 5 rams that I will set to each individual ewe, often in groups of 10 to 15, in order to get closest to the qualities that I am looking for. At this time, I currently have a mature flock of Monadales and Rommeldales, which are only wormed twice a year and are on pasture for 9 months out of the year. 3 months of the year they spend in pens where they are fed from 6 weeks before lambing until 2 months of weaning. Jonathan Heron is the shearer. He has been shearing my sheep for over 15 years. Jonathan makes a consistent cut. Every staple length is exactly the same or as close to the same as what the sheep has produced, and he adds a great deal of value to my fleeces, I feel. Working with the sheep, regardless of the time of year, is always fun, within reason. As you can see, have managed to purchase handling equipment, which makes it much easier for me to keep up with the foot rot issue, and it gives me a chance to check my yearlings as they're developing. These are yearlings, and then go on to the shows. For the fleece shows, you don't necessarily do any trimming. You might clip the tips off, but I have a good time showing my sheep. It's a lot of fun to introduce people to the sheep breeds and to the fleeces that they will produce. I spent several years looking for a mill that would be able to process the very fine, tight wools that my sheep produce. The yarns that are made are very easily worked with. I have everything from a sport weight all the way up to DK in both the Rommeldale and the Monadale yarns. Part of the fun of having the yarns is being able to dye them. While I've never been much of an artist, I love mixing the different colors and seeing what comes off of these beautiful fleeces. We also do clothing, ready to wear, both hats, neck scarves, we have ear warmers. All of this is sold at both off of our website and through the farmers market that I attend during the summer. Anyone is welcome to come and visit on the farm as long as you give me a little bit of advance notice. As the family says when somebody comes looking for me, I'm just about always with the sheep. Thank you for visiting.